Oh!
I was right the first time! Safety first, Ben.
Oh!
Skiing! We're still going.
Hello and welcome to Taskmaster. I am the Taskmaster, Sarah, and a few months ago, each of these contestants completed a series of tasks for me. Tonight, we find out who is the best task completer. Why did they sign up for this, you might ask? Why risk utter humiliation and the likely result of their closest friends and loved ones never looking them in the eye again? It's simple. For a shot at winning this glorious golden duck. Is it worth it? Yes, is the answer my script is telling me to say, but in reality, no, not at all. But here they are anyway. They have no idea how each other have done, but they're about to find out. Let's meet our contestants. We have Carolyn McCallips, Garrett Wood, Justin Kolb, Nick Freed, and Shannon Clark. And sitting next to me is a man who recently told me that the U.S. Women's Rugby Sevens bronze medal victory didn't count. Why, I asked, because it's not 15-a-side rugby? No, he said, because it's women's. Give it up for Ben!
Well, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to be here. I have a new platform. I have a new cause that I'm really excited about. I am protesting water. A lot of people don't realize how many toxins and waterborne diseases out there. So I've been hitting the streets with a message, telling people, no, no, H2O. No, no, H2O. Without testing, without testing. Really, testing water is very important. I'm very pro testing water. And so that's what I've been up to recently.
Was that it? Didn't you tell me I would like the one this year? Didn't you tell me I would like your banter this year?
I just thought you'd want to know what I've been up to.
I live with you. Okay, well, shall we get started with our first task?
Yes, we're going to jump right into task number 1 for the first task. Duck, duck, pot.
Hello.
Duck, hi.
There's a duck. Oh, a ducky. This is a cute little guy.
Don't touch the duck till you realize what duck means. Get the duck into a pot. Oh, from the farthest distance possible.
If you get the duck into the medium-sized pot, your distance will be doubled. If you get the duck into the smallest pot, your distance will be tripled.
You have 10 minutes. Your time starts now. Oh, I'm not gonna say that. I have some questions.
Are the pots able to, am I allowed to move pots?
Okay, thank you.
Farthest distance possible.
So, very wide open task. You could go a number of ways with this. So we are going to just jump straight into our first 2 contestants. First up, we have 2 very well-known musicians, Carol Lynn Manuel Miranda and Stevie Nick Von Fried. So,
I could tie a string to the duck and like put it in the little pot from the top of the playhouse. I'm gonna do that. All right.
I'll be right back.
Excellent. If we use the string theory, just working out the math in my head, I really think using like a plumb line idea.
I don't think it's going to stand on its own, but we can try. A little hard. Ow. The drop from the window. It might not be the farthest, but get it into here, swoop down. We'll see, I have a danger path that goes into lower points, or here that hopefully will pop up in. Either way, I get at least the medium points. We'll try that.
Luckily, I have a badge on my chest for tying knots. Those who can't tie knots, tie lots.
This is the longest trip without water this duck has ever done. Oh no. Ah, medium. Oh!
If I get it into the little pot inside the medium pot, is it quintupled? I bet it's quintupled, right? Okay. So good. Do this.
It's great! Dive in there!
Come on, baby. Come on. What? You did it! Yay!
Well, if I hold it higher, maybe that's more points. Oh no! Hotter and hotter up here. Yes! 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 We're gonna just call it there. That's good. Yeah.
Hey! Good work, little duck. Well, that was especially rewarding because the duck is cute. So glad.
So, to contestants who use height to their advantage, would you like to talk us through what you were thinking there?
Yeah, I just thought, right away, my first thought was probably height because I wanted to get it into the smallest one, and I thought dropping it directly down would be easier than yeeting it.
I have no yeeting abilities, so I knew I had to work around it. Also,
And used string theory, you said?
I used string theory? I said that?
Yeah.
I think it's all downhill from here for me, actually. That was probably about as good as it gets for me. That's, yeah.
Well, we'll see. One thing we'll probably need to clarify, there was the theory that if you got the duck into both the small and medium pot, then you would get the 2 times 6 and basically a 6 multiplier instead of just a 3. So it's probably worth establishing whether we agree with that interpretation and move forward from there.
Now, interestingly, Carolyn did say quintuple rather than multiply by 6. So I'm wondering, does it make a difference if we multiply by 5, we multiply by 6? Are we going to allow it? Are there other contestants that might help us ratify that
We
problem?
can put the ruling off till the end if need be.
All right, I think I'd like to see
I was
what the
gonna
other
say
contestants do.
on the onset that no, that doesn't really make any sense. So that's all.
Okay, but this is Taskmaster, so making sense is a relative sort of thing.
I'll take all these arguments under advisement, and let's see a few more contestants.
Well, first I'll give you some numbers. Since this task is duck related, I thought I would measure the distances in decks of cards. So Carolyn lowered the duck into the pot from 27 decks away, and Nick dropped his duck into the pot from 39.3 decks away. If you want a more reasonable measurement, that's 10 feet 10 inches for Carolyn and 15 feet 7 inches for Nick. So next up, we have a task with Shannon Clark and Garrett Wood. Shannon Clark and Garrett Wood. This next task, Sherritt could.
Your time starts now.
Your time starts now. Imagine if I made it. Alright, I'm getting nervous. Oh my Lanta! Oh, he's in it! I just want to make that known. So I'm gonna keep going.
Ah, so close.
first, and I want to ask. If I can get it in the small one from here, do I get both triple, double, and the single points? Oh, that was bad. Alright. Still at least double. Ah! Oh, no! No! Oh. Ooh. No.
15 seconds.
I definitely can't throw this far, but we'll try.
10 seconds.
Oh, that was awful. Well, hopefully math is on my side today.
Oh, it's exhausting. It's so windy. Got blowing my tube over.
So the first two contestants use height to their advantage, and these two contestants use maximum effort to their advantage. Any thoughts and review from the two of you?
I definitely used all 10 minutes just tossing this duck.
Yeah, I don't think I probably had as many attempts because I had to run up the stairs so many times. And it was very, very exhausting. I felt very committed to it, and the wind just was not cooperating whatsoever.
Yeah, so a couple distances. Garrett, well, they both got it into the medium-sized pot with their longest throw. Shannon did have a couple into the medium and smallest sized pot, but even with the maximum multiplier, it was still a lower score than her longest throw into the medium pot. But she got it in from 18 feet and 6 inches, and Garrett finally in the closing seconds managed to bank a 10-foot, 8-inch shot. So we have one more contestant left. Generally, when we save one for the end, we know it means really good, really bad. We will find out what the deal is with Justin.
Get the duck into a pot from the farthest distance possible. Okay. There's no way. Farthest distance possible. Like thrown, or once it leaves my hands, it travels that distance, right?
All the information's in the task.
Now the duck is going to go into the little pot on the desk. I did so much yard work today. How much time do I have, Ben?
You have 6.5 minutes.
We're going a little further. We're still going. Safety first, Ben. How much time do we have, Ben? That's why you told me about the church property. Because of this one. I know it. This is painful. This is terrible. Should have drove. I could have drove for 10 minutes.
How are you feeling, Justin?
Terrible, Ben.
1 minute to go.
The duck is still going.
10 seconds.
All right, here we go. The duck is in. Just in case the Taskmaster has any issue with it, there's a second attempt.
Time.
Oh, I think I did good.
Sorry, can you read the exact wording of the task again?
Yes, the relevant bits, subtracting the bits about the pot and such. Quite simply, get the duck into a pot from the furthest distance possible.
Right, okay, so just checking. The task wasn't to run around for a while before dropping the duck into the pot from mere inches away?
No, it was to travel with the duck as far as possible and get it into the pot. Get the duck into the pot the furthest distance away. That's what that was, yeah.
I don't know about that.
Common misconception.
So how far did Justin end up running?
So a quick summary, to start up, before he had started his attempt, he did a quick 200-meter dash, just took the legs right out from under himself, and then after that, he began his attempt, ran an additional 3,300 feet, almost exactly 1 kilometer, or 2,260 feet as the duck flies. So the real question is, does any of this count? And are we allowing the double multipliers for the small and the medium-sized pots?
Yeah, we should allow the double multiplier, absolutely.
So just that one?
Thank you.
Oh, and the traveling, of course.
I'm inclined to allow the multiplier. It's a fun twist. I like that 3 different people thought of it. I liked that Shannon wondered if the math would be on her side.
I
And
liked
like
it
that
because
ultimately,
I didn't even think about it.
Amazing. So we'll allow the multiplier, and I'm inclined to measure Justin's based on the number of inches that he dropped into the pot.
My legs are still sore.
That sounds like a you problem.
So that in mind, Justin finishes with a score of 3.8 decks, or 1.5 feet with the multiplier, because he did get it in the small pot. Garrett, 53.9 decks of cards, or 21.4 inches. Shannon, 93 decks, or 37 feet. And then Carolyn up to 164 decks, 82 feet. And Nick with a final score of 236 decks, or 118 feet, with the final score and 5 points. All right, well, next up, round up your freeze-dried puffins. We're going for a short little race.
New hat, new me. Propel one of the following past the finish line.
The bowling ball, both softballs, all 3 baseballs, all 4 golf balls. Propel one of the following past the finish line.
You may only propel your chosen ball or balls with larger balls. Fastest to propel their chosen ball or balls across the finish line wins.
Your time starts now.
Your time starts now.
Your time starts now.
So a few elements to this. So 1 big heavy one, 4 small ones, or somewhere in between. They could only propel the balls with larger balls, and we're going to start off and seeing how Garrett went about this one.
So one of the following past the finish line. The bowling ball is huge or heavy. All right. That's not something I can propel. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Happy with that?
I think so. Maybe I want to test the softball. Maybe get the softball in there. But I think that worked, yeah.
So yes, overall, solid effort, picked a method, stuck to it. Crossed the line in 1 minute and 30 seconds, or 939 meters of Usain Bolt at top speed. How do you feel, Garrett?
I felt pretty good about it. I was not expecting as much sprinting as I was doing in this, so I was pretty exhausted at that point, but yeah, I felt I used a ball that was bigger to move another ball that was smaller across the line.
Pretty solid effort. I couldn't help but notice something in the background of Garrett's attempt, though. Did anyone else notice it?
None of us are even talking about how that wasn't propelling a ball. Because it doesn't matter, Garrett. Because it doesn't matter.
Garrett, do you happen to know what the Finnish flag looks like?
Let's roll this next clip.
Not good, Brett.
Following past the finish line.
So, I very clearly asked everyone to propel the balls past the finish line. You can imagine my surprise when Garrett propelled the balls past the Swedish line. I was just very
Okay,
confused.
so I suffer from like slight dyslexia, and I read finish line, not the finish line, and so I saw a line of flags, and I was like, "There's the finish."
Do you hear?
Good
Are
job.
you proud of
Yep,
yourself?
that's going to make you feel like a jerk. 'Cause he's
Yeah,
dyslexic.
back's the jerk.
Let's move on, and we will see if anyone else got distracted by
Ignoring
the
people with
Swedish
disabilities.
line.
Propel one of the following past the finish line. Finish spelled like the country.
Propel one of the following past the finish line, spelled like the. Gotcha.
Oh, that's the Finnish flag. Oh, that is clever. Okay. Okay. The red ball is just a red herring ball. Just do it. Just start.
Your time starts now.
Off you go.
Did I do it?
Got it past the finish line?
That looks like a finish line.
Yep.
That looks like a finish line to me.
That was the finish line, right?
Happy with that?
Wait, what?
I said happy with that.
Oh, I'm happy.
Very good.
Yeah. And I see now it's not a red herring ball. Like, you could totally use the red ball. You needed some larger ball than the ball.
Yeah.
I did it.
Very good.
You suck. Is that Finland?
Is it?
Let me get the bowling ball. Am I missing something? Oh, that's the Swedish line!
I do despair. I do despair, Jake. Jake is the one I took this from, and he knows all the flags. I'm not prepared. Come on, little ballies. Off you go. I'd like to make an argument that spoken language is the true language, so homophones are interpreted.
I don't know my country's flags. I'm confident now. No, this is the Danish line, isn't it?
Very good.
Yeah, great. I just feel like someone probably did know. They're like, but that's not the Finnish flag. And that person is my nemesis.
That is the Finnish flag. Tricky, Ben. That's tricky.
So they both took pretty much the same process to get there, but very different speeds. The time to the Swedish line, Justin was 12 seconds, and Carolyn got there in 3 minutes and 13. But that wasn't the task. Justin got there in 522 meters of Usain Bolt, and Carolyn in over 2 miles of Usain Bolt. Justin in 50 seconds, Carolyn in 5 minutes and 40.
I used to be a physics teacher. Momentum, transfer of momentum is a thing, and so that red ball going backwards, yeah, that was all for show. I mean, that was for you guys.
I'm
I
impressed
knew
how
it was
well
coming.
the red ball worked.
I figured
it was
one
out
ball
in my
to
mind
move
right
one
away.
ball was the easiest thing.
Does Carolyn have a nemesis? We're about to find out. Here's Nick and Shannon.
Propel one of the following past the finish line. I realized you spelled finish wrong. I now get it.
Propel one of the following past the finish line. Oh no! Wait, oh no, which one's Finland? Oh no. I like a good pun. I am a dad.
Well, those are the Swedish flag. Those are the Finnish flag. Your time starts now.
I want to say that's sweet, but I don't recognize this flag.
Oh, that's a real bowling ball. Across the finish line.
Oh no, I don't have time. Wait a minute. What if there's another line?
Nailed it. Sick.
I don't see another set. Oh no, that one. Very good. You're happy with that? Very good. I was right the first time! I should have known this. I should have.
So, Carolyn, Nemesis, Carolyn.
It's nice to meet you.
We've got that cleared up. Both were pretty quick. Both went to the finish line first. Shannon gave the fastest time with 40 seconds. There was just 10 meters of Usain Bolt separating Nick and Justin. 50 seconds for Justin. Nick finished in 49, so 1 second faster.
Any additional thoughts? Any issues? Any problems?
So that is correct. It was propelling across the finish line, not to it.
The exact wording of the task is propel one of the following past the finish line, and then it says you may only propel your chosen balls with larger balls.
So did I win that challenge?
Did Shannon win?
Shannon has the fastest time. Any other issues?
Shannon wins?
Wow.
Shannon wins.
I thought that was the one I did the worst at.
I suppose the other question is, Garrett never crossed the finish line. Is this a full 0 for Garrett?
I mean, it was beautiful form, beautiful time. I think he gets a point.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, if anything, it's still going, right? I can still go back and finish it.
And I was really... I was also very compelled by Carolyn's argument that oral language is the true language, and while I don't know that this applies in the case that there were Finnish flags and Swedish flags and it was written down in a specific way, I do think there's an argument to be made that he did put it across a Finnish line, F-I-N-I-S-H. So I'll give him a point.
So we'll go 1 point for Garrett, 2 for Carolyn, 3 for Justin, 4 for Nick, and 5 points goes to Shannon. This next task is a beginner yo-yo trick around the world.
Try to do a Kramer.
Hi, Garrett. Have a nice trip.
Yes.
Hi, Shannon.
Hello.
Have a nice trip.
Yeah, I did.
Have a nice trip.
Oh, okay.
Before opening the task, write the name of a city here.
Write the name of a city here. Ooh.
Do I?
Oh, I don't like that. That's dumb. Everyone's gonna put that. I'm not putting Lancaster.
What city did you write down?
Rome.
Westendorf, which is a town in Austria where I proposed to my wife.
What did you put down?
Barcelona.
Okay, what'd you put down?
York. All right, Lancaster it is.
One of the shorter names in hopes that like something like Philadelphia has a lot of letters. Maybe that has something to do with it. So Budapest. I'm not gonna be able to get there. Open the task.
All right, I'm gonna regret this, aren't I?
Create a video application to become a resident of Barcelona.
Oh man, oh no. Create a video application to become a resident of Lancaster.
To become a resident of Westdorf. Well, I just looked into Westdorf. There is no jobs out there, so...
Oh. Create a video application to become a resident of York.
A resident of Rome. Okay.
You have 15 minutes to prepare and film your video.
The application must most likely to earn its creator residence in their chosen city wins.
Your time starts now. Okay. It's a big ski town right by Kitzbühel, which people like Arnold Schwarzenegger go.
Barcelona.
I don't know enough about York to make a video. Pizza! Yes!
Can you find a wolf in there? Italian specifically?
Can I use my phone?
Mhm.
Yes! Well, hot dog, hot diggity dog.
Oh, first capital of the United States. That's cool. About 9 days. Ooh. York has done nothing lately.
It looks like a boot and it's got a foot.
So we are about to see 5 application videos to become a resident of these cities that they chose blind. We've got 3 in Europe and then 2 very local cities here in Pennsylvania. So it'll be up to the Taskmaster to determine which application video is most likely to gain acceptance as a new resident. We will start off. All roads lead to Rome, and so do all tasks. Here's Shannon.
Ciao! President Sergio and the Pope, which I have a hat for you if you want to come visit. My name is Shannon Clark, and I would love to become a resident of Italy, more so the city of Rome. As you can see here, I've got things that resemble home. A map of Italy with Rome potentially marked off. I'll learn it a lot better once you let me in. Our lovely flag, which, might I say, very colorful. I do happen to know that the state bird is the Italian sparrow, and if you listen closely, you can kind of hear them. And that the state animal is the Italian wolf, seen here in my book of knowledge. I've clearly done my research, and my favorite part about Italy is, / Rome, is that while pasta and pizza are the food of the culture, they are the #1 country for gluten-intolerant people, which is yours truly. So, as I eat this gluten-free pizza in front of me, enjoy an Italian cute little bottle of Coke, I hope you consider me as one of your future residents of your city and country. Thank you.
I don't think Italians welcome gluten-free anything.
They're the #1 country for gluten-free intolerant people, or gluten-intolerant people.
Okay.
So,
All right, finish line.
Do a lot of Italian wolves hang out in Rome? Is that where they like to congregate?
The wolves mainly founded it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, helping other contestants win. We
thank
love
you,
to
thank
see
you.
it. Wonderful entry from Shannon. I love to see that, and I would love to see some more.
Yep, so
What else we
next
got?
up, we have Garrett. This one will be especially fun for all the people watching on the internet who will definitely know what York, Pennsylvania is. Here's Garrett's application.
Hello, I'm Garrett Wood, and I am applying to be a resident of your fair city of York, Pennsylvania. How do you know I'm a good candidate? Well, I've gone through quite a bit of effort to learn about your wonderful history. What a history it is.
For instance, I'm standing in front of what could presumably be a Lutheran church. And as we all know, the first Lutheran church of the west of the Susquehanna was founded there. Also, your majestic city was the capital of the U.S. for 9 months. And what an accomplishment. You know what? I don't see Lancaster, the city which you split from, was ever the capital of any nation at any time. So they should be jealous of you. And what a judicious city! I mean, that's why I'm wearing this judicious robe, as of course you know, because the Articles of Confederation were written there. And we all know that those really, they didn't last, but you know, they were important. They're important to what this nation is. And that's good, right? And you know, there's just so much to go through. There's the first stone house in 17 something, but you know, that was built there. There's the first coal train. The list goes on and on. I don't want to bore you with all the details that you know, as you are all residents of York. But most of all, I want to be in York. And as we all know, that is very hard to come by these days. I know there's not a lot of people trying to get in there. And so I think that's probably my strongest pitch. So I want to be there. And I really, that should be enough. Thank you.
So another very well-researched video, and I could sense that desperation building in your voice as it continued.
Yeah, you know, I actually learned quite a bit about York. They did a lot of things like a long time ago, and so you know, they can't be having a flood of people coming into York.
Anyone here from York? we got a few. Well, very good. We're now going to hop across the Susquehanna and see Justin's application to Lancaster. We're going to see a little bit of his prep work, and then we'll jump into the application after that. So, roll film.
Okay, so we are in Lancaster. We're going Amish. Farm tools as possible. So I need to prove that I'm a good farmer, that I can take care of myself, that I can grow things, that I can maybe start a fire. I need things that make me look Amish. The most colorful t-shirt in the world is not gonna cut it. Oh man, this is great. This is perfect. People in Lancaster County know their trees. This is a white pine. People in Lancaster know how to drive tractors. People in Lancaster like to compost and spread it out onto their fields. We like to plant a lot of plants. Here's me watering my plants. As you can tell, I'm very good at watering my plants. People in Lancaster love to start fires. This brush would be a great place to start a fire. The biggest reason why I belong in Lancaster County is because I can actually back up a tractor with a wagon. Based off of those skills, being able to back up a tractor, it's obvious that I belong in Lancaster County.
Well, if one thing this does answer a question we were just discussing the other day, which is what is the difference between a colonial-era Lutheran and an Amish man? A cowboy hat.
I couldn't find that type of hat. That was the perfect hat.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I'm hoping that if that doesn't get me a lot of points, then maybe I can bribe the Taskmaster a little bit here. We have a common friend in Ben, and so I made a t-shirt of Ben as, I don't know how old you are in this picture, but just,
So Ben, who is that on the shirt?
That's me as a kid with a giant teddy bear also named Benjamin, and I'm wearing a bicycle helmet for some reason.
Wait, the teddy bear's name is Benjamin?
Yeah. So I don't know where he got that picture, but there it is. All right, well, the next city is Barcelona, or if she gains acceptance, Barcelona.
Let's pretend we're dancing in the street in Barcelona.
Barcelona, choose me. Let me come and live in your city. I would respect all your good laws and your culture. I'm already practicing.
Up on the dance floor, move to Saturday night. I fell in love with the sparkle in the moonlight, reflected in your beautiful eyes. I guess
So tell us more about the beverage you were drinking, the vibe you were invoking.
Actually, that went a lot better than I remember. Actually, I asked Sarah, could you get me something that looks like red wine but is not red wine? And she came back with something that looked a lot like red wine but tasted like water. So you're like the opposite of Jesus, is what it sounds like.
One more application video. Now we head back east to Westendorf.
Edelweiss, Edelweiss. Da, 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 da. Wären Schnitzel Avi. Excuse me. Do we really have to leave Austria? Like it's not that bad. You know, I did hear about this beautiful little town. Are you sure about that? Yes, Westendorf. It's right here in Austria, where we are right now. And what's so great about Westendorf? Westendorf is a great place to stay fit. And a great place for drinks. Wir haben Hunger, Hunger, Hunger. A great history of Catholicism. And beautiful Frauleins. And plenty of skiing. Well, I do like skiing. My name is Nicholas von Fried, married to Martha, and my two children, Hans and Otto. As you can see from our names alone, we'd be a good fit for Westendorf. But let me tell you, why else we'd be a good fit for Westendorf. I have 2 years experience of being a ski instructor and plenty more years of that of actually skiing. I've even skied on Euro Alps, and I proposed to my wife in front of the Bruchstall in front at the bottom of the mountain in Westendorf. If given residency within Westendorf, I would be able to ski instruct in the winter and possibly help with the hotels in the summer. Christina, if you see this, thank you for our stay. It was beautiful. You were a great host. And yeah, so please consider me for your residency in Westendorf, Austria.
Who were those rich and well-developed characters that showed up for your video?
Yeah, there's a movie about them, and Paul, already I was halfway through the idea. I was like, this is probably offensive to say they should stay in the country when they were fleeing from terror, but that would be the Von Trapp family. Yeah.
I'm surprised at how much video people got, because it took me the entire 14 minutes just to prepare to get that little bit of video at the end.
Ben and I were sweating about how much we were running back and forth for the shots.
So I think it's time for some judgment. I don't want to give anyone 1 point. I don't want to give anyone 2 points because I thought they were all wonderful. 4 points to everyone except for Nick, who gets 5 points. That's fair.
Very well done. Very well done. Now, if you can all repeat after me, it's time for the next task.
it's time for the next task.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh no.
Let's do the task.
Imitate Ben.
The most accurate imitation of Ben's video wins.
Not just Ben as a person, but imitate Ben in the video. You may watch the video 3 times. You have 1 attempt to recreate it.
To cue the music and begin your attempt, say action.
I already got the looks down. So
Notes, I'm assuming.
Let's see what's going on here. Who's Ben? Accurate to the Ben I know. Oh my gosh, I have to count the music. Ben, I thought I got to imitate your personality.
oh boy. Okay.
You sat and stared for 16 counts. Right, center, left. You might have gone center again.
Oh, this is bad. Half. Spin. Toss.
You grabbed the sombrero and you bounced.
Get muscle memory. I'm gonna build muscle memory. Okay.
Fall through. Pull down. Okay.
It's helpful to know I was a dance teacher.
I honestly thought I got to do an impression of you. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna do my Ben impression because I don't know when I'm gonna get a chance to do that on film. Yeah. Okay, we'll see you later.
Where it's like he's in the room.
Nailed it. All right.
So to recap, they got to watch the video 3 times, take whatever notes or practices that they wanted to do at the time, and then had 1 attempt to recreate it as accurately as possible. I basically broke down the whole video into a series of moves that you could get points for hitting each specific move, correct right versus left, in the proper order, and bonus points for being spot on timing. So it broke down to a maximum score of 97. First up, just in the nick of time, it's Carolyn, and just in the nick.
Okay, now?
Try. Got the umbrella.
That was pretty good. You can finish it up. Very good.
I knew, as soon as I went for the, then I was like, yep, I forgot the umbrella.
I nailed it.
I knew I did pretty awful, but watching it now, I did really awful on that.
Carolyn did nail Ben's impression, though, and I think that needs to be accounted for.
And I respect also the effort that went into completing the task despite the music being long over by the time that you were done with your routine.
I don't understand. I don't remember the music ending. That's what has me now, in retrospect, wondering, like, was I listening to the music at the time? Was it playing or not playing? Was it playing for us? Oh, okay. Yeah, fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
So out of a perfect score of 97, Carolyn scored 43 points, Nick 51, and Justin scored 55 points for Justin. Next up, we're going to see the dance teacher. We'll see how Shannon did.
Heartbreaking. I was so amazed at how closely you were nailing it, even better than Justin, who is not a dance teacher. But then the umbrella tragedy.
The umbrella got me.
But what was the beginning enough? I mean, the first half was pretty much spot on. Current highest score is Justin with 55. Shannon put in a score of 65 points to be our current front runner. Which leaves us with one last attempt. Worth noting before we watch this, when Garrett filmed, it was extremely windy that day, and especially during this task, which didn't exactly play in his favor, but let's see how it went. has not been your friend today.
Oh! Oh man, I didn't get that. Oh.
Well, an absolute trooper. How you doing?
I felt pretty bad when I was breaking everything at the end. But I will say that I've known Ben for 12 years, and I have been mistaken for Ben a lot over the last 12 years. And in fact, the other day at church, someone came up and they said, I know Ben-Hur, I work with him, and I always thought you were related to him, like you were a brother. And so I feel like that should count for something. I feel like all of that 12 years is right now being culminated and points for this test because of the, how much we look alike.
He scored 1 point higher or lower than Carolyn. Carolyn had a score of 43. Garrett got a score of 42. So is there anything you'd like to add beyond just going by the point scored totals here?
I am concerned about the wind factor.
I've also been told I look like Ben-Hur for 14 years, so.
I'm willing to bump Garrett up to tied for 2 points.
Okay.
So not 1 point, but I think the rest can stand as you've scored it.
So 2 points for Garrett and Carolyn, 3 for Nick, 4 for Justin, and once again, 5 points for Shannon. All right, well, last up before we take a break is the prize task. We asked all the contestants to bring in an item that fit a category. The contestant who brought in the best item will receive 5 points, and whoever wins the entire episode at the end of tonight will not only go home with this golden duck, they will also receive 5 bonus prizes. So the category for this task was bring in the most touristy thing from Lancaster that a Lancaster resident would actually want.
So this is 100% broom corn broom, and you can only get them in bulk. So I had to do some finagling, I had to have some contacts, Lancasterian contacts, for getting this broom. And it is marked, it's even marked for Taskmaster Lancaster.
Wow.
What could be?
That's not very touristy.
But it does say Amish made. So I believe any person coming to Lancaster would find themselves quite happy with this broom, and everyone in Lancaster needs this broom. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's a beautiful gift, or prize, sorry. It's a beautiful prize. Thanks, who's next?
Garrett.
If you go anywhere and you say you're from Lancaster, the first thing someone says is, are you Amish, right? You come to Lancaster and that's Amish. And so normally a Lancaster resident wouldn't want something like what's on there, which is horse poop. But Lancaster residents come out in droves to run 2 half marathons in Lancaster, Bird in Hand and the Garden Spot Half Marathon, to win this Road Apple Award. And Lancaster County residents actually won it, and they show up to run this race to get this.
Yeah, that's great. Did you run these races?
No, I didn't. I'm not much of a runner. But I know Lancaster County residents that are, and I had options to get not 1, but at least 2 of these. And so, that should say something.
It's pretty great, pretty interesting. All right, who's next?
Next up, Justin.
Well, I brought in something that is both the most touristy item from Lancaster County, and it is also something that everyone in Lancaster County would actually want. What do we all think of when we think of Lancaster County? Yes, the Amish, right? That's a common theme so far. But the baked goods, okay? And out of all the baked goods, which one is the best? It's the shoe fly pie. You're right. Exactly. So I brought a shoe fly pie from Sunnyside Bakery.
Ooh, where's Sunnyside Bakery?
It's right down the road from my house up in near Terry Hill.
All right, very tempting. All right, Nick?
Yeah, so I read the task. I thought, what would be something touristy in the future, right? And what is something you always get when you go? You always get a t-shirt, right? You get a t-shirt of something when you go to Lancaster. So I got a custom-made t-shirt of Taskmaster Lancaster. There should be a picture of the back of it as well. And, you know, you hear of Taskmaster, the original, Taskmaster New Zealand. You don't hear of Lancaster. And I don't hear any other niche cities doing Taskmaster. So one day, people are going to be flocking to Lancaster to come see Ben-Hur, the Taskmaster family.
So you're under the impression that Ben is going to live at least 100 more years?
Technology.
All right. So Shannon, what have you got for us?
I recently went to the Turkey Hill Experience, which is one of the biggest, most fun attractions in Lancaster, and I purchased this. Not only from Lancaster because the Turkey Hill Experience, but a cow. We have tons of them here. And then useful because those of us of age, after a long day, might partake in the usage of this cup.
Now, I am in the know that from my grandmother that this is a cup to put your pills in for the day.
Yes.
So
yes,
I know
totally.
exactly what you're talking
Totally.
about.
Mhm.
She buys them everywhere she goes.
Yep, everywhere. Yep.
It's score time.
So I'm trying to think what I would want because I am a Lancaster resident. And just thinking out loud here, I'm very compelled by the broom. I'm compelled by Garrett's award, but I feel that I would want to earn it myself rather than just having it. I love shoe fly pie. Shoe fly pie is a winner. Nick, your t-shirt. I'm not quite following the logic, but I like the idea. I like the idea of Ben being alive in 100 years. Sounds great to me. And Shannon, I'm not convinced a resident would want it, but that being said, I know a resident who very much would want it. My grandmother also lives in Lancaster. Would put her pills in it. So
she can have it if she wants it.
I think probably I'm going to go ahead and give the broom 5 points, the shoe fly pie maybe also 5 points, Garrett's award 4 points, Nick's t-shirt also 4 points, Shannon's festive cup. Oh, I don't want it to be alone on 3. I'll give it 4.
5, 4, 5, 4, 4. So we actually have a tie for first place currently with 21 points each are Nick and Shannon. Stepping down, we have another tie at the moment with 17 points each, Justin and Carolyn. So they're 4 points down. And then another 4 points down to 13, we have Garrett.